and Cheryl, that you're helping and help this being larger. And Eleanor.
Oh, I didn't know it was there. I gotta know.
No. Well, yeah, but I want to get rid of that.
Are you at home?
Yeah, I'm joining from home. I'm not feeling great, so figured I would
All right, that's
not
good.
share germs.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Maybe
Okay, my name is Jim Bray. I'm the chair of the Environmental Council at Makefield Township. And the EAC meeting for August 25th, 2026 is now commencing. Starting at 7:04. And the first item on the agenda is review approval of the July 28th, 2026 EAC minutes. And they were sent out to everybody. And if anybody has any issues or suggested changes, let me know. Otherwise, we'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so the ayes. All right. Sounds good. All right, the next item on the agenda is the EAC Birdtown PA Lecture Series for 2026. And I think Jeanne will be talking to you about that. There is probably a change though, in that we might not be doing the October 10th lecture. But Jeanne, do you want to speak about this for a couple of minutes?
Oh,
So I've talked about the October 3rd, What's the Buzz? That's the we're looking forward to that because Mike Weilbacher is one of our favorite lecturers, and every lecture he's done has been fascinating, and this one will be also, I'm sure. And the other thing, we were going to do something on October 10th that didn't work out. So we will do something a little later in the fall, I think. But also the Harvest Day people have allowed us to have a table at their Harvest Day, and which is September 19th, or should it rain on September 19th, it'll be September 26th. And so we'll have a table there, and we'll have many, many lovely bird things to talk about and see. So I hope to see many of you there. And that's about it for now.
All right, thanks, Jeanne. Any comments or?
Yes, a couple of comments. Was Jeanne able to talk to Mike this afternoon?
No.
Ah, okay. Because I was hoping to have a poster or something to publicize before, well, at least for next week, because I'm going away from the 8th to the 24th.
Well, I think you have the checklist. Jeanne has the checklist.
Yes.
Now, what about the flyer? Has a flyer been prepared?
That's what I'm talking about, that we need a write-up from Mike to forward to myself and to Alan, so Alan can do a flyer.
He's done one of these before, right?
No, not the bees.
But
Not on.
Not the bees.
He's done 2 or 3 lectures here before.
you give me the dates, I could probably find the old flyers and revise it for this.
He hasn't done the bees before, has he?
I'll just change the,
Oh,
name's the same, the date will change, yeah.
okay.
So,
Oh, no, maybe.
Yeah, oh, no.
oh,
Yeah.
Dominique, I did leave him a message.
Yeah, I'm
But
sure, yeah.
he hasn't not
Yeah,
gotten back
yeah.
to me, so.
Okay, what
I
if Alan
will,
can do it without?
We thought that he might have some things he would
Yeah,
want to
yeah, he might. I mean,
Well,
include in the,
Right.
well, he does, and I have some of those that I'll send.
Ah.
I have a bio of him for one thing.
Right, right.
And
But-
then I think he also had a write-up that I couldn't find. And it details just about all the lectures that he has given or will be giving in the future.
Okay,
So I'll
okay.
see if I can
Yeah.
find out as well.
So it'd be great if I could have something
yeah,
at least next week.
Well, tomorrow I can send what I have to you and Alan tomorrow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that could give me a start. at least.
All right.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right. Anything else?
Um,
All right.
Why didn't we do the October 10th one? The Mercer County wildlife people weren't interested.
Well, go ahead.
As it turns out, everybody must have planned really early because nobody was available. And
Okay, yeah,
so we can, we don't have to do,
we can do another date.
yeah,
Yeah,
well,
well,
another date.
Dave, we're having 2 lectures a week apart, which I think from a logistical viewpoint is quite a bit of work. So I think it's going to work out a lot better. And then I think Jeanne was talking about having something maybe in November, which is, would be a good time, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, Paul Roden.
Long lost Paul.
Hi.
All right, the next item on the agenda is EAC Awards Application. And I talked about that before. Several years ago, the LMT EAC was fortunate enough to win the Governor of Pennsylvania Environmental Stewardship Award. And it was a big to-do in Harrisburg presentation. And the only reason we haven't received awards in a while is, the main reason is because we haven't submitted anything. So you don't submit, you don't get.
Yeah.
So anyway, and talking to Alan and some other members, I'm going to check starting probably tomorrow, the next day, the parameters for the governor's award. And we already have a really, really good write-up on our tree bank ordinance, which is quite unique, okay? I don't know if any community is doing what we're doing as far as trees. So I'm going to hopefully have something for our next meeting in September. And I think one of the parameters is you can't submit until September. So I think we're right on target as far as that's concerned. Anybody else have any comments?
What,
Okay,
what were we gonna submit it on?
the tree bank ordinance.
So if I need to do something, you gotta tell me.
Well, you basically already, we submitted an award application
Yeah.
about a year ago. And so we have all that write-up, and you did most of the write-up, and it was very good, Alan. So I have it all there.
It needs to be updated though. We can add to the numbers of trees planted.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now we have,
The fall.
I mean, who's counting, but 1,703 trees, okay?
So get that in there.
Yeah. All right, any comments? Okay, well, let's move on to the next one. LMT Tree Plantings. The Fall 2025 Dead Tree Inventory. I had talked to Dave Kratzer, our township manager, about that, and Carla as well. The Fall 2025 planting occurred roughly in October, November of last year, and there's a 12-month warranty on that planting. So we've had a couple of observations already, but quite frankly, the ones done by the new tree squad are really right on target. So in talking with Carla, she said it was possible for her group to do another one, maybe mid to late September. And we will use those as the official figures to give to the township in having that contractor honoring his or her warranty obligations. So, and by the way, we had Alan and I, along with Dave Kratzer, Derek Fuller, and Dan McClune, had a very productive meeting on August 19th. And we're going to intersperse those meeting results in throughout the agenda tonight, though, rather than talk about just the whole, minutes that we just prepared for that. And I think we sent them out to the group too, if I remember. If we didn't, I'll make sure that the group gets them as well. Now, Carla, you might want to talk about the spring 2026 planting that you just completed.
Yeah, sure. Well, we didn't complete the planting, but we went around and we tagged them. So I know it was 162 trees were planted. We actually didn't go to the trees in the golf course because it was Saturday and we figured that was probably not a good time to wander around and tag trees. But we did the others. So it was 126 that we tagged, and we completed the health assessments of those trees as well. So the data is being compiled right now. But all that was done this last Saturday with 15 volunteers.
Okay. Thank you. And I've seen some of the results that Carla and her group have prepared, and they're really right on target because I guess using AI and some statistical information, Carla's group is putting out tables, the health of the trees by category, by location, by species. And while the sampling size is really not large enough to make 100%, observations, they're indications. And when we see a subsequent planting where maybe more watering was taking place, and we compare the two, it's going to be very, very helpful in future plantings. So anyway, you and your group really did a great job.
Thanks, Jeanne.
What is the warranty on the spring 26 trees? Is it 12 or 18 months?
No, that's 18 months.
It's
So
18.
that's,
So you're going to be doing assessments of the health up until, August or whatever next year. And then we can send it in and get reimbursed for the non-survivors on the group.
Right.
well, actually, for the 2026 spring, it'll be not next August, it'll be 2027 spring, 18
It'll
months.
be about a year from now.
Yeah, well, when did that's right, because they went in what, April, May?
Yeah, we need to find out the exact, what we're working.
Right.
But yeah, it was later than we wanted.
Yeah, I
Yeah, it's May. You're right. But we do have.
There's a story about that
Yeah.
we don't have to get into right now, okay? But anyway,
Yeah, it's definitely May.
but there's new, not regulations, but there's new parameters in place that hopefully we won't have late plantings anymore, okay? So,
Okay, good.
I'm trying to see what else is here. The fall 2026 plan is completed and it was sent to the township management. And that entails 177 trees. And I think there were about 20 different species in about maybe 10 or 11 locations, which is really good. And one of the things that we're going to be doing now is that one of the items that came out of the meeting that we had on the 19th is we talked about the bidding system. And there's a couple of things. Firstly, we were looking at a preferential bidder called Realty, who has an association with the township, and they don't have to go through the normal acceptance process. And they came out with a bid, and our feeling was that it was way too high. But the other thing that we're going to be doing, because in the Arboretum, substitutions are not permissible, but in the everywhere else, substitutions are permissible. But what we have suggested to the township, and they incorporated in the bid now, is no more than 10% substitutions are permissible. And when substitutions are made before the bids are accepted, the substitutions must be reviewed by the EAC and the township. So I think this is going to make life a lot easier. Hopefully, we're not going to have any of these incorrect plantings again or issues like that. So, and those bids should probably be going out, I think, early September, and then the township has to approve them. If I remember my botany right, I think mid to late October is probably the best time to plant trees. So we're way ahead of schedule. We had this information to the township several months ago. So, all right, Alan, any comments or observations on that?
Just we have to start thinking about the spring of 2027 plantings. So if anybody sees a good spot for trees, let us know. We're gonna get the plan together by January. So we have a spot. Masonic Temple or Masonic Lodge is one place we know for sure we're gonna try to get approval for. But anywhere else, yeah. And if anybody wants the 2020 tree planting plan, we can send, if you don't have it, we can send it to you. And all the table, I don't know if, do people get the tables where we're planting the trees?
I think.
Okay,
think
so
so,
everybody
yeah.
gets those,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
'Cause I tell you, I drive around the town now and I just see these tree bank trees everywhere. It's amazing. Taking over.
Yeah.
Good thing.
Yeah, it is actually a very good thing, and it always instills me with pride, and I'm sure it instills all of us when we see those 3 stakes with the new trees. That's because of what we're doing in this township, so it should make everybody really feel good.
Alan, I did get an inquiry through the tree squad. Someone was asking if we could plant trees at Makefield Elementary, and I wasn't sure if we did anything at any of the schools.
Well, we haven't up to this point. I guess we could get permission probably from the
Right.
school district. We have
Kingsbury
to.
School District, yeah.
Yeah. Where, right in front they're talking about? We can take a look at it.
It sounded like they had recently taken down some trees.
Oh, really?
So they were looking for, can we replace them? I don't have more detail than that
Okay.
this time.
Yeah, I'll go take a look at it
Okay.
and try to figure out where they took the trees down and
You know, I'll ask Linda Paulsky, she lives right down the street from me. She's on the property committee of Pennsbury School District,
yeah.
and she should be on top of that.
Yeah, see, that's a question I really don't know the answer to. What we've been doing so far is just public township property, but the schools are township property too. I mean, that
Well, not-
grounds.
There's,
So I don't know, for instance, if we planted the trees there, would the school's maintenance take care of them? Those are the kind of questions that we have to get into. And that's what we're actually going to be doing with the Masonic Hall. Every time we pass down Heacock Road, I see that big open space there.
Mm.
And it's ideal for a formal alley of 15 trees. I know it's 15 because I got my little old range recently. And 20 feet on each end, 30 feet between trees, exactly 15 trees. So what we're going to be doing, Alan is going to, or myself, whenever, talk to the people who run the Masonic Hall. And the deal would be, we'll plant the trees, but they maintain them because it's on like a public right of way. And the legality is, well,
it's their property.
it's their property, okay, but that's kind of the deal. So we're going to see what happens. It's an ideal place for trees. And what Alan said too, I'd like to highlight, anytime any of you are going around or you have friends who say, man, we could use a couple of trees here or there, let us know because we're very flexible. And what we did this tree planting in the 2024 plan, we have 200 reserve trees. And that basically means we can put 200 trees wherever we want. So it gives us a great deal more flexibility. So,
Great.
all right, anything else on the tree plantings?
All right, how about along the baseball field side of the parking lot for the LMT community area? Like along this side?
Yeah, that might be Pennsbury's property. I'm not sure, but yeah,
Because then it would add shade to the parking lot eventually,
yeah.
much like the existing, the other side of the parking
Yeah,
lot.
it's wide open. We can check that out. Okay.
And also Veterans Park.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
There-
Park has a lot.
Well,
Yeah, but it's
they
nothing
have
in the
some,
middle.
but not as many around the playground area and maybe around the parking lot. Again,
Yeah.
just throwing it out there.
You're talking the one at Edgewood. Is that the one you're thinking about, Cheryl?
The first one is on
Edgewood and,
Edgewood Elementary School.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because if it's not used, I mean, there used to be the market there, but it's not used anymore. So is a whole space in the middle.
Where in Edgewood?
Is it on the veterans?
Veterans.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that was the farmer's market. Yeah.
right. But there's nothing taking place there.
Yeah, but like, if you look, Alan, how tall are these gonna get? They might get tall.
Oh,
But like, is there room for a couple more here
Yeah.
around the playground? Like, I don't know what kind of trees they are from over here.
Red maple.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a formal alley along.
And then here,
right.
and then maybe along here, the parking.
Uh-huh.
And, yeah, we can.
Maybe,
certainly
maybe
take-
beautify the parking lot a little bit.
Yeah.
If we have shrubs or,
Market. The veterans basically took over that property. The
Ah,
farmer's market was actually, in use for about.
but even like close to the
yeah.
Veterans
and then,
Square, like there's, I
Basically what
don't see
happened,
any
well.
trees like right around here with the add shade.
The
for
woman who
that.
was running it was just overwhelmed after a while, and it's a
Yeah.
huge, huge job, so.
Mm.
Okay, you have that written down, Alan, we'll take a look at it. okay?
Yeah.
All right, the next thing on the agenda is the Heritage Tree Ordinance, and we certainly have good news on that. At the 8/19/26 meeting, we had 3 nominations of trees in 5 Mile Woods. And not only did the board approve it, but they approved it very enthusiastically. Okay, so Cheryl really did a nice job on that. Why don't you talk for a couple minutes about it?
We nominated the four selections, the saucer magnolia, the cucumber magnolia, and then the Franklinia and 5 Mile Woods as a whole. As a whole. What came out of that though is they were enthusiastic. It is an opportunity for us to kind of get that information about those locations out on the website. So I'm going to do a map, maybe with some interactive, I got to see what the township can do. A map with the locations and then some interactive, click on this and learn more about it, information. So hopefully we'll get that done next couple months. It is an opportunity then to maybe work with 5 Mile Woods, get some signage on some of the more unique trees. Maybe partner with some of the local Girl Scout, Boy Scout troops to see if they want to peruse through the woods with the 5 Mile Woods team and look for some other rare trees. Because who knows, maybe we have another Franklinia out there somewhere. Never know.
Again, nice work, Cheryl.
Mm.
And the other thing is we're going to have plaques prepared and put them on these various trees. We already have one on the cucumber magnolia because that might be it's not only one of the most unique trees in Bucks County, it's the largest in Pennsylvania, but we think also it might be the largest in the United States of America. And if any of you haven't seen that yet, you ought to go out and take a look at it. This is one big tree, okay? It's so big and the branches are so heavy that they have to be supported by 2x6s. Otherwise, the sheer weight of them would just bring them off. So anyway, next item on the agenda, and you've already given a part of it, I think.
Yeah.
But how about a progress update, Carla? And one thing too, as soon as you get those minutes, or not the minutes, but the event written up,
Yeah.
Send it to me and I'll make sure it's shared with everybody.
Okay. Yep, I will do that. So I already shared about last Saturday's event. This coming Saturday, we have another event where we're going to right now we have 8 volunteers signed up. But our plan, since we completed the health assessments of the spring and last fall, we're gonna start tending to some of the trees. So our plan is to help. A lot of them have buried root flares. So we'll be digging out the root flares and making sure they're getting enough air to breathe.
Right. There's one other thing I'd like to add to that too, and this is real important. During that 8/19/26 meeting, we had also talked to Derek primarily, who's the operating maintenance head in Lower Makefield Township, that the tree squad is willing to go out during the next planting and monitor the plantings, just to make sure that they're done correctly. And this is going to be a really big deal, because before, I was thinking maybe I could go out. They're planting 160 trees, so one person is like lost in the wilderness. But if you have a group of people and they have knowledge about how trees should be planted, and we can give them a little 101 course before. Planting a tree is basically not super scientific, but the township was really enthusiastic about that. So this is really going to be another real plus for the tree squad.
That'd be great. Thank you.
All right, the next item, strategic planning. Cheryl, Eleanor, Sumya.
I think,
Wait, we have to get audio for Eleanor. Can you hear us, Eleanor?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, well, all right. And we can hear you. So we don't need audio, all right? All right. So any comments from Cheryl, Eleanor, Sumya, or all or one or what?
yeah, Eleanor had put together a survey. You haven't launched it yet. We were going to talk about it today, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I
it looks like
remember.
it's a separate line item on the agenda, but I'm happy to talk about it now.
Yeah, might as well do that. That's
Okay,
tied
great.
to this.
Yeah, apologies for the late send on that one. Was everybody able to take a look? Everybody who at least commented, were they able to take a look and just double check it? I think I got everyone's comments incorporated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I took a look at it, and after all the comments were made, and you really did a fine job, Eleanor. It's excellent. So
Oh, good.
I think the next step is before we send it. Firstly, in talking to Dave again at that meeting, he gave us a kind of carte blanche to talk to Lynn Todd in Parks and Recreation, and she controls about a list with about 2,000 or 3,000 names on it. So I'm going to be setting up a meeting or a talk with Lynn very shortly and find out exactly how we can send out something like this survey to all the residents. And I think
Okay,
before
great.
we do that, though, we have to send a copy of Dave just to make sure that we get his blessing. I don't think there's going to be any issue at all, but that's one of the steps we should go through. And I
Sure.
think by our next meeting in September, I think we'll be prepared to send it out.
Great. Yeah, and ask Lynn, yeah, what their capabilities are in capturing answers digitally.
Well, the other thing is, I was thinking, this is a Word doc, and if somebody wants to make changes, you tell me if this is the right way to go or not. They could make changes on the Word doc and send it to a specific email. Now, I don't know how many responses you're going to get from something like this. Yeah, 10, 20, 50, 100, I mean, hundreds. What do you think is the best?
Yeah, we don't want to send a Word doc. You need to use SurveyMonkey or some other thing. So we could ask Lynn what, I think I've seen surveys from her before, so we'll figure out what they have.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, worst case scenario, I have Microsoft Forms and you could send a link there and it will survey and then populate the answers in an Excel table. We definitely don't want to send out a Word doc.
Okay. Yeah.
That would
So
be torture.
Okay, so I will talk to Lynn about the, what was that one called? Monkey
Survey Monkey.
SurveyMonkey.
or anything.
Yeah,
And-
any survey tools.
Yeah,
There's a ton of them out there.
and I'm pretty sure, like you said, Cheryl, that they're using something like that. So, all right, so I will find out
Great.
everything about that, and maybe next meeting we still can be prepared to send it out.
Wonderful.
Okay, any other comments? All right, land use reviews. I have no new submissions, but did something just come out recently?
Yeah, the ferry track, which is up, what's the road, the very northern boundary of the township near the river. It's a,
Ferry Road.
Ferry Road?
no,
No.
the guy's name is Ferri. That's his name. I mean, well, I don't have it with me, but he has that 36-acre piece of property near the golf course. It's also near the borders that. And at one point, we were interested in that for open space, but he was wanting so much money for it that he didn't want to sell. And now he's dividing it, the 36 acres, into one 10-acre parcel, and then the other one's 26 acres. And there's no plans to build. He just is dividing the property. It may eventually come down to building.
Well, he's dividing it for a reason.
Yeah, but it doesn't say in the application. So there's really nothing to comment on. But yeah, the Farm's Edge by Shady Brook Access Road, the supervisors talked about that last week at their meeting on the 19th. And they didn't make a decision. We had raised the issue about wetlands buffer, and they've developed in the wetlands buffer over the years. And hopefully they'll address that. I didn't hear them mention that at the meeting, but I wasn't there
No.
the whole time.
They didn't.
They didn't? Okay, yeah.
Well,
So-
they mentioned the EAC. They did mention some requirements by the EAC, but
What did they say?
that's all.
That's all we talked
Yeah.
And what, you showed us a picture that they had some type of shed real close
Oh, they
to the
have.
road.
Right.
Over there and look. They
I
got-
have.
they have the
Yeah, it
the
just,
kitchen sink there next to that wetlands and
Mm.
pond.
yeah.
So, and I've heard that they're gonna move it. That's what Dan McClune told me. But they didn't mention in the meeting, but that's okay. They talked a lot about the access road being the only way into that development.
Yeah.
129.
Yeah, and they have to go back to the
Yeah,
drawing board.
so that's why they have to go back. So it's not approved yet, so it'll keep rolling, and I'll try to find out what happened to the wetlands buffers. But I'm thinking they're gonna get rid of their stuff out of there, but we'll see.
Okay, Alan, you're on for the next one as well. The
Oh.
Stony Hill Road Edgewood Village Master Plan.
Yeah, we sent in our responses to the Township Committee questionnaire, August 9th. But also there was that, workshop at the, community center 2 nights. I think it was the 29th of July and 30th.
Yeah.
And I didn't go there, but I think Dominic did.
Twice. Yeah.
How
Yeah,
was it?
both.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah. How
Very
was it run? I mean,
Well, there was a gentleman who was in charge of the discussion,
right.
and he would make the point of asking everybody there what they thought about the suggestions which
Okay.
came up. So
So what's the overall feeling? Are we going to get another Prickett's Preserve across the street?
that was, we were mostly at those two. Well, that was the second. Yeah, that was the second meeting talking about Stony Hedge.
Does it?
Apparently, the developers said that they had made some mistakes at Prickett
They sure
Preserve,
did, yeah.
and that maybe something they try not to do the same, but they didn't. I don't think they explained what the mistakes were.
Does it sound like a done deal that they're going to build a?
No, I don't think so. No, there was a long discussions about parking.
Yeah.
So still nobody decided if they were going to have a main parking. In other words, no, it's still very much.
Yeah, I drive down Stony Hill and you see Prickett's Preserve on one side and I think, do I really want that on the other side?
It's preserved too. I mean, they wanted to put in some type of business, scientific, business park there or something at one point.
Well, that's long gone.
Yeah.
Now they want to do retail and apartments and things like that.
There were a lot of people asking for pedestrian, for people to be able
Yeah,
to
be able
walk.
to walk, right,
Yeah,
yeah. In your comments.
yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see what happens. We're
Yeah.
going to have another meeting, the steering group, but we don't know when. They haven't determined a date. Probably in September sometime.
It was very cordial and very, very nice.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's it.
Okay, the next item, proposed single-use plastics ban update. And Eleanor and Dominique are going to be talking about a meeting that they had with Supervisor Judy Reese.
Mhm.
So Dominique, Eleanor?
Well, I don't know, do you want to?
Go for
know.
it, Dominique.
Okay, well, we had a long discussion about plastics, and Judy seemed to think that she couldn't imagine why anybody would object to it. So, and she seemed to be very positive about the outcome and talking to the Board of Supervisors, which she was, and she said she was going to talk to Dave Kratzer the following day, which she did. And I think Dave was.
Yeah, I'll have an update on that in
Yeah,
a second
okay.
after you're done.
Okay. And I think that's about it. Anything, Elena?
Yeah, I'm just looking at my notes. She did mention that she felt like Dan and Colin would be on board and that we really only needed 3. So fingers crossed.
Yep.
All right, in the meeting that Alan and I had again with Dave and the other 2 gentlemen, we brought up the subject of single-use plastic bags. And Dave had indicated that he had talked to Judy, and Dave is going to do his best to see how he can move this forward, which is, I think, good news. And I think, Eleanor and Dominique, you're going to find out the availability of Farron on October 7th.
Right. I haven't written to Farron, but he hasn't replied yet.
Because Dave was willing to see if he could convince the supervisors to put, a meeting, an info meeting on the agenda at the October 7th. And one of the things we talk about too is, I don't know how, Eleanor and Dominique feel about this because they're kind of ramrodding this project. But I think initially, it should really be limited to single-use plastic bags, period. And I think there's a good possibility that we can get something like that approved by the township. And then once we get something like that done, then we wait a little while and then you start putting in other stuff like maybe straws, the type bags that the material is made of, all that kind of stuff. There's fertile ground ahead. So I think that might be the wise approach at this time.
Yeah, and I'll just add to Judy was really adamant about the types of businesses that we have in LMT and that this shouldn't be super difficult. She even brought up that I don't think we have any dry cleaners which I know the dry cleaners are exempt, but she really was highlighting the types of businesses in LMT and that it may not be as hard as some of us are imagining or some of the Board of Supervisors are imagining.
Well, that would be good news. Now, if you remember, we had a presentation to the public as part of our ongoing lecture series, and Elaine McCarron was here, and she talked about what had happened in Newtown, and that was about a 3-year adventure. They first put in something that was voluntary, and I could have told her at the time, because I've dealt with voluntary things before. And voluntary, the problem is you don't have to do it, okay? That's why I love the word mandatory for a lot of our ordinances. If it's that good and it makes sense, then let's do it, okay? So anyway, but they had a long adventure and eventually their ordinance now is very comprehensive, but it was not an overnight job. So anyway, but, good work, Dominique and Eleanor. and I'm glad you had the opportunity to talk to Judy. Judy is a good friend of the EAC. She has been one of our supporters for many, many years. So, all right, the next item we already took care of, the EAC survey. And the next item on the agenda is the Snipes Meadow creation. And that was something that we talked about extensively at our 8/19/26 meeting. And I was absolutely delighted about the outcome. So let me tell you a little background on that. I guess it was less than a year ago, in a conversation Dave just mentioned to me, you know, it would be nice if we could do something with that Snipes Tract meadow, because, you know, it's causing us a public relations issue with people in the neighborhood when it's cut and other issues like that. So I said, well, okay, let us take a look at it. So anyway, you can put a meadow in for 500, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. It just depends upon how extensive work that you want to do. So we're looking for something that's quick and dirty. And if it works, we're well ahead of the game. If it doesn't work, we haven't lost very much money. So what I have suggested in talking to the Ernst Seed Company, they're a very reputable seed company in Pennsylvania, and I've actually used them for personal projects elsewhere. And they have various seed mixes. So the front portion of the Snipes Tract is 3.87 acres. So let's say it's 4 acres. And Dan McClune was receptive and gave us some good maps of the area. So the suggestion is it's a long rectangular piece. So in the first front acres of that long rectangular piece, it has to be brush hogged and then taken down even further with a regular almost type lawnmower. And then after the first killing frost, seed can be laid down. And there's various seeding methods, but the best one is what's called a drill seeder, where the seed is actually with the machine, it's impregnated right into the soil. So the productive rate is much, much higher. So that's what we're going to do. And starting next month, I'm going to be dealing with Ernst Seed Company and looking at the various mixes. Now, everybody wants a colorful meadow mix, and that's great, but you need some native grasses because the native grasses stabilize the ground and they choke out weeds. So with the combination of native grasses and colorful perennials, I think we're going to hopefully come up with something that's really, really worthwhile. I also mentioned to him that that chain link fence in front is austere and uninviting. So hopefully when we get a project like this rolling along, we can remove it and put in a more bucolic type post and rail fence. So everybody was pretty receptive to this. So let's see. And I knew they were going to be receptive, but they were more receptive than I thought they would be. So this is really, I think, a great project, an aesthetic concern with the neighbors. So I think hopefully this will be a win-win. The other thing is that in the long run, and we have mentioned this to the township too, we would like to see that 35-acre tract with the meadow in front be turned into hiking trails and birding trails. It's 35 acres. I think it would be the absolutely perfect place for that. So I think they're going to be looking into that as well. So I will keep everybody updated on what's going on as far as that's concerned. But this is one of the things when you talk about and it starts moving forward that really makes you happy. Okay. Any comments?
Well, maybe that should be publicized with Eleanor's survey because that'll be part of what people
Yeah,
want.
that's
I'm sure.
amazing. It's such a great idea. It's amazing news.
Yeah.
And the back half of the meadow will stay.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Alan just brought up a really good point. So we're going to have 2 acres untouched and 2 acres the meadow we created. So this will be a living idea till you look at them and you can say, wow, look what happened, or maybe we got to go back a little and do something different because it doesn't look that different. But I think that was a good idea. All right, the next item is open space. Now, there's 3 properties that the township is working on right now, and publicly, we really can't divulge what those 3 properties are. We can talk around them, and Alan's going to be talking about that in a couple of minutes. But there's 3 of them now that 2 of them especially are almost a done deal. And a third is, well, actually there's 4. The third is a possibility, and the fourth is maybe a possibility. But when you add up these 4 properties, it equals 101 acres, which is really, really amazing. And the one we actually have an agreement between the parties, but no formal agreement has been signed or money has been passed between the parties. Alan, you want to comment on these?
What am I allowed to say?
You can say anything but the name of the properties. Okay.
Well, can I name the I sent 2 letters to specific properties, and we've talked about those. at the
Yeah, I
meeting.
don't think.
Yeah, the Coles property, that's coming along. They got an assessment and they just have to agree on the price, and because he seemed interested, so that looks like it may happen. I'd say greater than 50% chance. And then just recently, the Morazzo property, that Big Oak in Derbyshire, it was
It's called Fiorella Grove.
Fiorello Grove, the development was, Morazzo got approval to build 3 houses. It's 10 acres. It's all wooded. It's got a rock run going through it in wetlands. I mean, I walked around the perimeter today. It's beautiful. And it's so unique. I mean, it's a real dense woodlands surrounded by houses and schools and stuff. So if they could preserve that, it would be great.
Where is it?
It's, okay, Bain School, Bain,
Yeah.
where the buses park,
Yes.
right behind there.
Ah,
It goes all the way to Derbyshire and all the way over to William Penn School parking lot. Yeah, check it out sometime. It's really nice. But they sent we sent a letter to Morazzo, and it came back as undeliverable. But then today, they got a response from one of the ones that went out that I was told was undeliverable, but he responded, and he sounds, he said, "Oh, I grew up in the township and, I want to contribute. And so let's talk about this." So that one has a chance. So that could be 4 if all those go through. Yeah.
And, we've been working, especially Alan has really, really been working hard on these projects, okay? Because it just takes, you got to keep at it and at it and at it and at it. Just like that, one of the things I was most proud of was the Guzikowski property. And I worked 10 years with Sandy to make that reality. And then afterwards, we have this beautiful farm of 44 acres that's preserved. So it's not something you say, hey, you want to do this? It's a discourse, and it's a long discourse sometimes. But, if you can hang in there, there's results, okay? But sometimes it's a little different to hang in there, difficult to hang in there, I'm telling you. But anyway.
Yeah. Can I make a clarification on the property that's being subdivided, the 38 acre property? It's on Mount Airy Road, and it's right near where Mount Airy intersects Taylorsville, near the golf course.
We've been dealing, I remember dealing with that gentleman several times over the years.
Yeah.
And I think it came down to a question of money.
Yeah, well, nothing's changed. He says the same. He has a house on the property and, 38 acres. So see what happens.
Yeah, it might be of interest to everybody. according to Pennsylvania law, we can't just bid for a property per se. We have to use the assessed value. Now, if the property owner also wants to have an assessment, that's certainly appropriate. And in that case, generally what they do is they average the two. But, sometimes you say, wow, if we could put in a couple of more $100,000, we could get, doesn't work that way. Okay. We're bound by state law. So, anyway, that's just a matter of interest. The next item is Paul and the EAC Township newsletters. Anything going on there, Paul?
Well, not really right now. My computer is still not back from the shop. I think I'm going to go out and buy a new one. I'm trying to work with my wife to get a new Apple.
Good.
I've had it with Windows.
Yeah, unfortunately, I know it's probably not of interest to anybody at the meeting, but the Microsoft people are backing me into a corner with my Windows 10, and they keep saying, I'm hanging in there, but I don't know how much longer I can hang in there because they're just not supporting stuff anymore. And Jeanne has Windows 11, and I don't like Windows 11. I like Windows 10. I think it's easier to use, but they don't care what I think, So anyway.
It's good.
All right, the next item is odds and ends, and I have just one item there. I guess a couple of meetings ago, we talked to Dave about data centers and some type of regulations. And at a meeting we had before this meeting, he had said that, yeah, he's looking into it and he thinks the township is going to move forward with something. So the other day, when I was reading the Bucks County Herald, there is an article on the front page, continued on the back, about the consortium of Newtown Township, Wrightstown, and Upper Makefield. They have an ordinance writing consortium. So they write one ordinance that's good for all three. So, and this, they've come up with some legislation, some kind of ordinance. I don't know if it's in and approved yet, on data centers. And maybe even more important to them because they tend to have some of those areas a little more open space than we do. But what my plan is right now, I'm going to copy the article, send it to Dave, and just say, hey, we might have to reinvent the wheel. If they've already done something that looks good, maybe we should just tag along. And to be honest with you, that's one of the EAC success stories over the years. We have copied and plagiarized stuff all over the United States, okay? And it's all legal and it all works. So anyway, when I send that to Dave, I'm also going to send everybody a copy.
That'd be great.
So any other odds and ends?
Tomorrow, not tomorrow, Thursday night at 8 o'clock, there's a webinar on microplastics, and I'll send around the link if anybody's interested. It's only for an hour, but it's, things that are going around all around the country on microplastics, trying to get the EPA to pass some regulations, even though that's kind of dubious. At least we have to try.
Yeah, that's a good point, Paul. And it also reminds me of one other thing that if we can get Farron out here and the board is receptive October 7th, I think the thrust in talking to Eleanor and Dominique is to stress the health benefits. Not that you're not going to talk about the environmental benefits, but really to stress the health benefits.
That's
And
what
Eleanor, I think it even suggested that there's a possibility that you can have somebody do a study about our drinking water and see what's in it. Can you elaborate on that just a second, Eleanor?
Yeah, so we can actually do I think they cost like $118 per test, and they test for microplastics in the tap water. So that's an option if we want to present those findings during Farron's presentation or as a part of it.
Yeah, okay, that might be something we should look into. Any more odds and ends from anybody?
Yeah, the next recycling event is still 2 months away. It's October 31st, Halloween morning. But I remember after our last one, we were thinking it'd be great to have some high school students help us out. 3 or 4 of them. And how do you get a hold of these high school students? They're Pennsbury students? I thought somebody had a connection or had a number or a name.
Oh,
Well,
we can
we
ask
could-
Anil.
Yeah, we could ask Emil.
Okay, yeah, ask them, because, yeah, if we're going to get volunteers, I should get on
Yeah,
that.
the National Honor Society, I know, it has to get certain amount of service hours
Yeah,
if you're in that organization.
okay,
It's also the scouts, even if they're not going for a badge, they're supposed to be doing community service as a regular thing. You know, do one good deed.
yeah. But who do I talk?
Who do I talk?
Yeah. who do I-
I'll send a note to Anil, the young man who came to
Yeah,
our meeting a
if
couple
he has
times.
any idea, just
see if he
3 or
has some
4 more
ideas.
people for 2 hours.
Yeah, that's
It'd
fine.
be the time of their life. They better people.
I'm not going to oversell it. Sorry.
There was a woman, and I forget her name right now, but she was a real EAC booster. And she worked for the township for a while, and she actually was preparing the newsletter. And then she went to Pennsbury High School, and she was their major publicist. Now, all I have to do is remember her name. So, but I will look, and that would be an excellent source, I think.
Yeah, we just need, 3, most 4.
Yeah, Alan, also there is a youth committee, LMT Youth Committee, and most of the steering committee members are Pennsbury students. So they can set up, voluntary activities. So they can use, they can use this to get people signed on, I think. There's a youth committee from the township. So I think the township has a youth committee.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So
So the youth committee is the leadership.
can you do something?
Yes, exactly.
Who runs it?
The township.
I know, but who?
Who, I will have to look at the website to see. If you do LMT Youth Committee, you will find the information.
All right. I'll look.
Who in the township is coordinating
Yeah,
that.
that.
Lower Makefield Youth Committee
Mhm.
through the Parks and Recreation.
Park and Rec.
Through Parks and Rec, okay.
All right, I will look into that.
And I will look into Troop 30. That's the troop my son
The
was.
president is Emily Mounier,
Looks like a good volunteer right there.
a rising senior at Pennsbury.
Okay. Yeah, I will check into this tomorrow or the next.
Does it have an email for her listed, Cheryl?
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Does it have an email listed for her?
Oh, no, he's not on there, but
Okay.
So there has to be somebody from the LMT admin who's coordinating them.
yeah,
Yeah, Parks and Rec.
yeah, it's not,
I'll just
I mean,
use
it
the-
says Parks and Rec.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, any other odds and ends?
Well, Jim, you skipped number 14. Was there something there? Publicity.
Publicity. Oh, I forgot Dominique.
No, no, this is something I don't
Publicist.
understand, so.
Public publicity and,
Yeah, but just use the
And-
P&L lists.
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
I had talked about the PNR list for EAC publicity. Okay, I'm good. That's the one I talked to Dave about using the PNR list because that has 2,000 or 3,000 names.
The Lynn,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
And-
Well, yeah, I use it already because I always send publicity to Rob, who is,
Rob,
yeah.
Okay.
Bob, yeah,
and
so that's.
I don't know what
how
he's
you-
doing with it, but now I want to set up something formal
Okay,
so that when we have our lecture, it's part of the checklist, maybe 2 weeks before the lecture, we send out a blast on that big list.
Hmm.
That's up to you. You are a publicist. And again, many, many sorries for
skipping me.
Mea culpa, that's it. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
Well, just one more question. What was the third of the consortium of townships? Which one? Newtown Township, Upper Makefield, what was the third one?
Oh, Wrightstown.
Oh, Wrightstown, okay.
And every once in a while, I ride out that way to go to Doylestown. And Wrightstown is really rural. I mean, there's a lot of open space there. So if I were living in Wrightstown, one of the things I would do right away is come up with some kind of regulations for daycare centers.
Mhm.
So, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
All right, anything else? Okay, at 8:05, I am officially closing the EAC meeting for August 25th, 2026. And how do I shut this off?
Have a good Labor Day.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, feel better.